What's up, guys? It's Catherine. Yes, I know I said I was going to do a weekly video, so you guys can hate me in the comments all you want because I failed to do that until now. I'm going to try to do just one video a week. I'm going to try to get these out on the same day every week, but bear with me. I know I say a lot of things and never do. But anyway, so what I want to do for this video, and I'm going to flat out say one of these decks is not safe for work and should be viewed 18 plus only. Just so you guys know. Because there is some nudity in one of these tarot decks. But yes, I just gave it away. I am going to give you, kind of talk a little bit about my favorite 3 tarot decks that I am currently working with. Now, I have several tarot decks that I have put into the collect. Not only do I use tarot decks, but I also collect them. So when I say retire, I essentially have moved them from active decks that I read with to the collection where they stay, and literally until the end of my lifespan. All right, but I have 3 that are my favorites, and I want to kind of talk about why they're my favorites and kind of give you a few. I guess you say a few cards. So I'm going to try to, on the one that has nudity in it, I am going to try to find and show you guys the ones that do not have the nudity, but do know that there is nudity in said deck. So what I want to start with is I actually want to start with my 3rd favorite and then go 3, 2, 1. Alright, so my 3rd favorite that I have recently been working with is just the straight Rider-Waite Tarot. I feel I got this deck, believe it or not, I was given this deck and number 1, actually I was given all 3 of these decks, to be honest. I was given this deck at a time where I felt like I needed something a little more traditional, if you will. So, I mean, we all know what the Rider-Waite looks like. Ooh, there we go. See if you, that way you guys can see them a little easier. That is the 3 of Pentacles. And the backs are just these plain, boring checker print pattern looking thing. Alright. So, I have used these. I use these mainly to read for myself. In times that I feel like I need nothing. I don't need any additional, like, imagery and stuff like that. But just general straight guidance, and that's what this deck I feel and I connect with on that level more. So that was the 2 of Swords. I had to look because they don't have names like a lot of them, you know. This is the 3 of Wands, and yes, I'm holding them at an angle because if I hold them straight up, you get the glare from my ring light that I utilize to help make these videos brighter. I mean, look at this. It's a mess. Alright? I'm a hot mess. It happens. This is kind of an impromptu and unplanned video as well. I'm going to show you one more. But the reason why I like it is just because it's straightforward guidance. There's not a lot of extra detail to it. They're really great. It's a really great beginner deck. So, or what a lot of people say, a really great beginner deck. I think this deck is a little harder to connect with. It was hard for me to connect with it at first until I just wanted straight, no bullshit. This is my question. I need guidance. I need like straightforward guidance. And that's when I started connecting with them, when I went at these with a no nonsense attitude. Alright. So the Rider-Waite Tarot. The Rider-Waite Tarot deck. Here's a little box. Definitely something that is number 3 in my list, mainly because it's not a deck I could use for every day, but when there's something I just need to cut the crap and get the answers, this is my go-to deck, because this is one of those decks that literally tells you how it is. She got an attitude with me, and yeah, we're on the up and up with that. So, Rider-Waite Tarot, number 3. That was deck number 3. Now, deck number 2 was actually originally given to me as a birthday present years ago but I used it so much that the cards crumbled. Alright, so I had to go out and find another version or another copy of that deck, which just so happened to be gifted to me by the shop owner. So, yes, I think you guys have seen this before, the Druidcraft Tarot. Now, this one does have some nudity in it, like, I think like 1 or 2 cards. Nothing like number 1. Alright, so with this, you get really wide cards, a pretty decent little booklet. If you get the other version, the cards are the same, but the booklet is like a full-size book, and not like a booklet like this. All right, and the reason why I like these is because these are, for lack of a better term, they're pagan. A lot of decks that I've seen, or that I've read with, or that I've looked at and played around with, or had read for me by other readers, they just, I don't know, just something never sat well with me with a lot of those decks, especially since they were pagan, but they still had certain themes and stuff that were kind of questionable. This is one of those decks that isn't. So, this is the Princess of Wands, just so you guys can see it. The name's at the bottom, and cards. And all the cards have this straight brown background with a gold, I want to say a gold kind of like Celtic knot in the knotwork kind of pattern in the center, and then the gold border with, I don't know what that is. It's like a triangle with an infinity sign on it or something. So it's very hard to tell if you're reading, or if you're pulling a reverse card or a raise head up card, which I love. That is another thing with these that I love too. Okay, moving on, trying to remove some of the, and for some reason all the cards that had any kind of nudity in them, honestly and truly, just all ended up at the bottom. Interesting. They are a little bit bigger to work, a little bit more difficult to handle if you're just gonna go like this, but after a while you kind of get used to it. So here is the Fool, and this is I just love the messages that come out of this deck. I also really like just the feel of the deck itself. It feels very homage, very pagan, very down to earth, very centering, versus a lot of, like, I think it's called the Dreamscapes Tarot that I used to have. And that one to me was more dreamlike and whimsical and uplifting, you know. Whereas this one's very down to earth. It doesn't really have a lot of frill to it. I don't know, maybe it's an aesthetic thing that I like about it. Let's see here. I'll show you this one. Now this one is going to have a little nudity, but I do want to show you guys, this is the Lovers. And this is, believe it or not, I believe a scene from one of William Shakespeare's plays. That's what I think it's from. I think it's A Midsummer's Night Dream, I think is what that play is. Or at least it's what the card reminds me of. So here is the Lady, which is the image, consequently, that is also on the front of the box. She is very pregnant, getting ready to give birth to the god. Very pregnant. Alright. And we'll show you one more. One more. These are very heavy on different mythical themes too, which I like. The Lady in the Lake. And that's the Ace of Swords, or essentially the One of Swords. But the Ace of Swords. And it is very, very, very definitely King Arthurian. Arthurian in nature. So I do like this because it's not just, the themes are not just Arthurian or Egyptian or this or that or the other. This is, I don't know, it takes common elements and common themes and mixes them together and really makes a very good, wholesome deck. Very, very, very well put together. I mean, like, the images are just gorgeous. There was one more I wanted to show you. There is a Lord card in here too, but I think I've already skipped past it looking for other cards. So, yes, definitely enjoy this deck. No questions asked. And this is actually probably the one I do pull for or am drawn to for about 90% of my inquiries. And this one is also really good for daily readings. Mainly the one I pull for daily readings just because I want to start my day off on the right foot. Now, I do very bad witchy over here, very bad psychic reader, very bad tarot reader, whatever you want to call me. Again, hate me in the comments. But I have a tarot app. I believe there's a tarot app for this that I use when I'm traveling or on the go and can't physically just pull out the card, or if I literally am getting up and going and I can't pull a card that day, I got an app just as a backup. Alright. I don't ever go by their interpretations. I always take the card that is given to me for the daily draw and read it myself. But the cards are right on my phone in case I need them as a backup. Okay? Cool. So yes, this is the Druidcraft Tarot deck. This is number 2 on my list. And that's just mainly because it would have been number 1. But the person who gave me this for my birthday is no longer in my life. I had to cut them out because they are toxic as fuck. So, just the memory of them giving me the first deck. It's not necessarily the reason why it's number 2 on the list. It's just I've got issues. I got things I got to work through. Now this one, the very first tarot deck on my list, the one that I go to for a lot of things, I just can't use them around the kid, is called the Casanova Tarot. Alright, now this one, just so you all know, I'm going to show you guys cards in here. Some of them will have nudity. This is a very common theme within this particular tarot deck. Alright, so let's pop this open. Obviously we got the box. We have Les Bouclettes. Got a couple of info cards here. Now the only complaint I have about this deck is this is your back. Okay? So you know if you're going to get it reversed or if you're going to get it right side up. Because the person, I mean literally, that's the only main complaint that I have about them. I really love the size of these. They're easy to hold. You can easily shuffle them, things like that. So we have things like, and I'm going to try to get the cleanest ones I can find, just because there are some younger viewers who do watch these videos. But this is the 8 of Cups. So as you can see, they are very heavy on adult themes. So I have to just be very careful. This is the 6 of Cups. Alright. So, very, very Victorian. I believe this is the Tower. Alright, now these just have the Roman numerals on them. They do not have names, as you can tell with the other cards I've shown you so far. So this is like England or Victorian era kind of feel to it. I just love the messages that come out of these cards. Not necessarily the fact that they have the nudity in it or anything like that, or that they're more adult themed and adult centered. I don't know, I get very clear messages with them, and from literally the first time I've read with them, just had this like connection, like instantaneously. So this is the, I have no clue what this one is. This one just says 14 on it, but I'll show you some of the other cards on here. And this will be the last one, mainly because I do not want to get flagged for inappropriateness, and a lot of the cards coming up after those are going to have a lot of sexual themes on there. You know what, screw it. I'm going to show you one more just so you guys get the gist of what I'm talking about. This one is the Judgment card. So now you understand what I mean, right? Alright. That's why we're not going through the rest of these cards on video. But this is a pretty good, I've had great successes with it. I've had great readings with it. I do pull from it. I usually do a daily, like a morning tarot reading, a 1-card pull, and a nightly 1-card pull, just to kind of reflect on. And I usually, because of the themes, the adult themes in this deck, this is usually the deck I pull for my nightly draw. And this is the deck I pull for my morning draw. Alright. Some kind of advice or something to focus on during the day. Something to kind of ponder at night when most people do their things. But this is definitely number 1 on my list, just because I was able to get a very quick reading connection with it. I mean, it was instantaneous, pretty much. And the size, and just, I love Victorian era. And this deck has that all over the place. So, it takes the number 1 spot, and it is definitely a deck that I pull for quite frequently when the kid's not around, for obvious reasons that you guys have seen. So those are my top 3 tarot decks that I use currently to this day. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and before you guys go, I would appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and turn on those bell notifications so that way you never miss a video from me. And I promise I'll do better in the future. I promise, because yeah, it's bad. So anyway, I'm gonna go drink some water because it's hot, and I know you guys can't really tell it, but I am sweating. Staying cool in the heat as best as possible. Guys, stay safe out there. The world is crazy. I'll see you guys in the next video, and namaste.